Hi, I'm Karen from 24 Hour Bookkeeper. Why should you care about a 1099 form? 1099s are not only important, but they're required to be completed by the IRS. Add it to your list of what needs to be done every January. Basically, you would process a 1099 miss to report how much you paid a subcontractor or vendor in the previous calendar year. Throughout this video, I'll reference a 1099 miss as a 1099. You should process a 1099 for anyone you paid $600 or more in that calendar year. Nobody likes receiving one of these, and nobody likes filling them out, but like I said, they are required, and you do not only have to complete them for your subs, but you also have to report them to the Social Security Administration. You have different options to get blank 1099 forms. You can find them at your local supply store, request them from the IRS, or check out your local library or a city office. If you're using an accounting software, you might be able to directly produce them from there. You can also search Google for other applications that process 1099s on your behalf. You're either going to have the opportunity to file electronically, or you might have to send the forms to the SSA directly. Sometimes I notice that employers provide a 1099 to one of their employees in addition to the W-2 form. I'd say that's a big no-no, and typically, unless there was a change in the employee versus subcontractor status, no employee should be getting a 1099 and a W-2 form. To complete the 1099, you'll need to gather some information such as vendor details and amounts paid. You only need your vendor or sub's W-9 form and then a total of what you've paid them in the previous calendar year. The W-9 form is going to give you the information about the sub themselves, like their legal entity name, their address, and their correct tax ID number. We have a video on W-9s if you want to check that out. To gather the total amounts paid, you should be able to pull a simple report in your financial software. If you're using something like QuickBooks and you marked your vendor as a 1099 vendor, there is a whole functionality around 1099 processing, and you can simply use that to process your forms. A question I get a lot is, do I include both the material and the labor costs, or just the material, or just the labor? Look at it this way, if your sub billed you $10,000, which included materials and labor, then yes, you would include the entire amount. Maybe you hired a contractor only for labor, and if so, that would be the amount to report. If you bought the materials separately and that subcontractor only did the labor portion, then again, you would only report the labor portion. Remember, the amount would be what you paid the contractor and shouldn't include what is still outstanding. Let me show you a 1099 and a few boxes you might want to pay attention to. For the record, you can search for 1099 miss instructions, which will give you more specific directions on completing this form. Maybe you have just a few to fill out, and if you'd rather do it by hand, this might be helpful to you. If you were to gather a 1099 form and physically fill it out, you'll notice that there's a couple sheets that come with it. The reason for the duplicate is one goes to the SSA, one goes to you, and the other goes to the recipient. The first thing you would do is you would complete your payer's name. That's you, the contractor who would put in their name, address, and phone number. You're also going to put your tax ID number in the payer's TIN area, and then the person in which you paid, you're going to put their information in the recipient's TIN or tax identification number. Right below that, you would put in their business name and address. There's a lot of reasons to give a 1099 miss form, but in this case, I'm going to give it to you for your subcontractors. Because you paid subcontractors, you would put those amounts paid in box 7, which is non-employee compensation. Make sure to only put the amounts that you paid in the year, not the amounts you've been billed for the year. Examples would be if you've been billed $25,000, but you've only paid $16,000, you're only going to put $16,000 in that box, not $25,000. Once you've completed the form, you will send it out and it should include instructions to your payee. Once you've completed the forms, you're going to send them out to your subs and vendors, as well as send a copy to the Social Security Administration. Make sure to retain a copy for your records. These forms are due January 31st to your recipients, in addition to being postmarked for the SSA by January 31st. If you're late, you could be charged penalties and late fees. Thanks for watching this video. For more videos, make sure to click subscribe. You can also find more info on financial management by going to our website at 24hourbookkeeper.com, which can be found in the comments. See ya!